Hello. Good Lord, it's 1:20 in the morning and I'm still up. I let it play a few times, the song Poisoned Rose by Akash Gandhi. Hi, Aussie True Crime. Hey, beautiful PCT. Happy New Year. That's right, it is for you. Yep. Happy New Year to you too. I hope 2025 is better for everyone if 2024 was difficult at all. Oh dear, it was for me. It just was. I mean, 7:20 p.m. Getting closer closer and closer to midnight. I just, I mean, it was hard. Not being able to, ever get back on to, Dolly Vision. And then after that, there was the cyberbullying with Team Rose, and then the Tiger family, we'll just call it that. And then in May, right after that, I really busted open and fractured, cut, and everything else, my finger, to where I'd been told I'm lucky I didn't have it cut off or whatever. Had to go through that. And then right after that in June, I found out my sister had 4th stage cancer. And then literally a few weeks later, my mom had a small stroke. And then 2 days after that, a small heart attack. And then 2 months later, I find out that she very well might have stomach cancer. So we'll know for sure in a day or two. I'm kind of trying to act as if, everything's fine, because I don't know yet. And even if that is a card that my mother's dealt, she's a very, very strong, resilient woman, former nurse. And when she was older, in her 60s, she traveled and was home care nurse. So, Hey, hi, AK-47. Hey, girl, Happy New Year. Same to you, AK-47. Happy New Year. Hi, Ray Jones, MGA. Tina with hearts and a rose. Thank you. Thanks, you guys. I knew at least one person would come in. People are up late and the times are different. This is, I used to go live around 11-ish, and it would be 2 in the morning Southern time and 1 Midwest. But that just got to be, oh gosh, too hard for me. The older you get, you need a little more sleep. Yeah. So, I wanted to, before the new year gets here, get some more of this book done so I can start something new and fresh, around the new year time. And I haven't been here in a couple of days. My neck has been extremely sore. I have not been sleeping on my ergonomic pillow for a while. I've been sleeping on the plush little animal pillows, but I put my arm under it for more height, and then I'm all sore the next day. So I'm back to the pillow, and not having migraines, but a bad headache here and there. So I just take a couple Tylenol and I'm fine, but I can't imagine having migraines. My neighbor's daughter goes through that, and it's got to be debilitating, I've only had a migraine once. I couldn't even lift my head off the pillow. It was awful. Yeah. And I wasn't hungover. It was literally a migraine. I wasn't drinking then. So, okay. So, hi, everybody. I'm starting to get tired, and the show just started. Oh, my gosh. I'm laying on my stomach because I'm charging my iPad on the floor. I also wanted to go live because I was over at Lord Dandy's. Shout out to him for those of you that haven't subscribed or found his channel yet. His name is Lionel, but he's under Lord Dandy now. And I've never had my reading done, or whatever it's called, with those tarot cards, which I guess are similar to Oracle advice cards. I Googled that, thinking that might be something I'm interested in purchasing and talking about myself. But I'm nervous. I'm nervous just because, I profess to be a Christian and the Bible says to do otherwise and this and that and the other thing. But I went ahead and he asked me if he could do a reading. And I said, okay. And I really liked what he said. It was completely, utterly spot on in every way. Every way. So it's his New Year's Eve live. If you guys want to go over there and take a look. My mic. I'm not on mute. Your mic, Tina. Are you kidding? My song isn't still going, is it? Because I checked. It doesn't say pause. That's mute. Am I okay? It's crackling? Oh, good grief. Okay. Thank you for telling me. Because I watch back my lives and sometimes nobody lets me know. All right, I'm going to reboot and I'll be right back. Hopefully this will help. Is this better? It's bad. It's crackling terribly. How is it now? Usually when I reboot, it's pretty darn good. Wait and see what you guys have to say. That's awful. I said quite a bit already, too. Better? Better. Does that mean, oh, it is what it is? And you're saying it's good. Hello, welcome. I haven't seen you in here before, unless you have and you're under a different avatar. Thanks for coming in. Is it just better or is it good now? It is what it is, says it's good. Let's see what you guys have to say. It's perfect? Oh my gosh, good. Okay, so I was over on Lord Dandy's channel, back to normal. Thanks, you guys, so much, and thanks for telling me. And he did a tarot card reading on me with dropping the little stones in this little thing that makes a like a bell ting sound, and he had a candle going, and it I mean, I knew nothing was going to be pulled up like scary, like, an accident or you're going to die or something. Maybe that's like, having your palm read or something. I don't know. Give me it felt good. Give me it felt good. I'm not sure what you're saying, AK-47. But it was really quite, oh, sounds good. Okay, good. Thank you. But yeah, going through these, I don't want to say strange, but when people are very, very intoxicated and they're your ex, and they're not just sending you like small paragraphs, we're talking like almost long letters throughout the year, of not letting go and not letting go of the past and not letting go of any of my wrongs or grievances that we had with each other. Or, I mean, when he's sober, he tells me on the phone when he talks to his son, "You're the best mom. You're wonderful. I still love you." And then when he's wasted, I mean, let's just be blunt, I'm just evil, and I'm not letting my son go, and I'm pumping him up with drugs to keep him here. I mean, we're talking really like mean stuff. My son wants to be on an antipsychotic. He asked. And within days, he could tell the difference. So I'm not a pill pusher, but good grief, if you've mental issues and it helps you to at least have an okay life. Hi, Mission Possible. PCT, Happy New Year. Yeah, Mission Possible was over there at Lord Dandy's. Yeah, I'm telling everyone about my reading, and you told me that, what did you say? He's good at it or something. And he said it's the cards, but or you said he's spot on or something. He really was in every single way. It was almost in a way shocking. I really appreciated it. It was like things I needed to hear. Yeah, he is good at it. Spot on. And he really seems to know his stuff. I'm the sign of the crab, which is Cancer. And of course, the very first thing comes to mind is, please don't let me ever get it. The cards don't lie. Wow. But he told me that is the Greek name for crab, is the word Cancer. And of course, the way he says it, it's Cancer. Cancer. I think that's kind of how he said it. I just love his dialect, and I think your dialect, Mission Possible, I just love it. And Aussie True Crime, and New Zealand, my friend Kylie, who I still have in Messenger, who I don't see much in these chats anymore, but we're still good friends. And let's see. So anyway, yeah, I was impressed. So if you guys ever want a reading, he does little, not little, but, well, the cards are little. Well, from the view from the camera, they look little. But anyway, a reading, just go over there. It's really neat. And I didn't start this live till a little later on, Mission, because I missed the first half hour. So I went back and I watched what I missed. I didn't even know that he had already done a reading on you, Mission. That was really neat. Hi, Winnie the Pup. Good morning. It is morning, isn't it? It feels like nighttime, but it's 1:35 a.m. here. Yep, in Washington State. Lord, it rains a lot here, you guys. It has been raining, and we're not talking a little rain. We're talking pouring down rain. So I put on this big gray coat, goes down to my knees. It has a hood. And just to bring the garbage out, I get soaked. Or to go down and check the mail. But it's okay. I mean, I'm used to it. And luckily, I do like rain. Who does the readings? Lord Dandy. Is it at Lord Dandy Mission Possible? Do you know his link? I don't even know how to put links in. Here, I can make oh, what am I trying to do? There we go. Just a second, you guys. All right. Yeah, Mission, I just tried to make you a mod, and apparently I can't do it from this end, which is so weird. But okay, at Lord Dandy. There it is. Yes, Lionel did a reading for me. I didn't ask, but he did one. He was spot on with everything as usual. Yeah, Aussie True Crime. Lord Dandy is Lionel. How do we put this? Have you ever been over there? You've probably heard of him. How do we? Team Rose's ex-friend? I don't know. Oh, you're in the UK, Winnie the Pup. See, I meet so many people on here, I can't keep it all straight. I look it up. No, I haven't. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's very interesting. You know, he lives in Africa. He's been in the Navy. I don't know if he's in his late 40s or what. Yeah, he's gay. He lives with his dogs. He swims in this pool now and then, and he'll film that. Oh, you're having breakfast. That's nice. And his life seems so sort of tranquil, and I want to say simple, easygoing. And maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just the atmosphere the feeling I get around his home and the birds chirping and the quietness. It's quiet where I live, believe it or not, in this huge apartment complex. There aren't, dogs barking and all that, and cars screeching around because there's a lot of kids here. And of course, right now it's 1:40 in the morning, so I am blessed. Also, we're on the outskirts of town. We're a mile from town, so we're not around all the hustle and bustle and stores. But anyway, yeah, I was impressed by my reading, and he said 3 times in his live mission, go live, PCT. You've got to, you need to, or something. So I watched the beginning and even the end again where he read my thing. Okay, just a few more hours for you guys over there. Yeah, I bought some non-alcoholic wine, that Martinelli's. You know, it's very cheap. What is it? $3 a bottle. I bought an apple kind and a grape kind. Because my friend Teresa, um, who I've said this before, she dated my ex-husband before he and I got back together and got remarried. She was with him for 2 years here in this town. And honestly, I thought, oh, there's going to be some weird fatal attraction thing. I just don't know if I even want to meet her. She's going to hate me, right? Because he wanted me back. And we had been, let's see, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. Well, I arrived in 91, but we didn't get married till a second time, till 4 years later in 95. We were married the first time in 86. That lasted till 88. Yeah, but we're best friends. Best friends all these years. We're both redheads, and we both talk a lot. We're both extremely detailed. I literally on the phone when I need to go, and she knows I need to go, I have to be like, okay, just tell me such and such. I've got to go. I have to remind her. I'm sure that's how it is with me too. We're both very, motherly and caring. And we're both extremely empathetic. It's just so bizarre. I mean, she could be literally my sister, you know. She's my soul sister, apparently. She's, I think, 7 years older than me. But she used to be in a band. Of course, I haven't been, but I enjoy singing to this day. But she used to be in a band and wear these like white go-go boots and had the bangs and the long hair, and she was real thin and everything. And now she's dealing, with bad knees and different things. She's had 5 children, and I'm talking about her because she hasn't been here since before the C disease. And then we just kept touch on the phone. And then her knees kept getting worse and her legs, and she may not make it up my 3 flight of stairs. So it's kind of a big deal. She's going to test them tomorrow where she's living on the fire escape stairs. And if she can make it up the very first few, then she knows she can. I mean, it's that bad. She's probably going to be in a wheelchair within a year or two. Her doctor has already given her the go ahead for that. And she's trying very hard to get an apartment over here. So, yeah, it's, and it very well could happen. She's already talked to the management, and the people on her end need to get the paperwork going. And I told her, I'll pay the money to hold the place for her. I'm able to do that now. So she was really shocked and excited about that. But she's my best friend. And it's amazing. And Christmas is over, but we got like 6 gift bags of gifts from her today. Her caretaker drove them over in the car. It was pouring rain. My daughter and I went out to the parking lot and picked them up, and she doesn't want us to open them until tomorrow. So hopefully she can come. I bought a pie. We're going to have meatloaf and potatoes and salad. Yeah. And open our non-alcoholic wine. For those of you that don't know me, I quit drinking in 2011. I needed to get my daughter back from CPS, and B, I always knew I had a problem since I was 16 because I would hang around the keg with the guys, and just the drinking age in the 80s was 18 in Vermont. And so, I started pretty young. And even though I had bouts of not drinking, there were 8 years during my marriage, the second time with my ex-husband, my son's dad, that I didn't touch it. And I didn't go to AA and I didn't do anything. I just knew that I needed to be sober for us to get along. And my son needed a sober parent, you know? Even though, Joe and I were together then, at least one of us needed to be sober. So I did that. And this time it's 13 years. So, I have 13 plus 8, but that's not that much time. From the age of 18. And then I did not drink during both of my pregnancies. So what is that? 13 plus 10 is 23, but it's 8, so that's 21. And then 2 years of pregnancy, 23. So 23 years I haven't drank out of starting at the age of 18 to 62. How many years is that? If it was 20, it'd be 40. So 42. So that's literally about half of my life. Half of my life I've drank and half I haven't. It's so weird. I've never counted that before. But so and Teresa doesn't drink either. Yeah. So, I remember the days of putting on my little that little black sequin dress that I danced in. And I don't think I had boots on. I'm pretty sure I had black pumps. And that's when I lived near Boston. I wore that dress that I danced in one of my lives. So it's nice, that it still fits and everything. And but I remember that dancing with Melvin. And he found his birth parents just before I left. He and I broke up after a year because I couldn't handle the abuse anymore. And he found out that his birth name, when he found his birth parents, because he showed me pictures and stuff, his real name was Tyler. It's just bizarre, you guys. But I don't know. I don't know if he's dead or alive. I never wrote him. He never wrote me. We just I got on that airplane at Logan Airport. It was absolutely pouring snow. In fact, there was a blizzard. And, I was nervous, but I don't know. The pilot said, well, we'll be up above the clouds and you'll be fine. But I don't think I'd even dare get on a plane if there was a blizzard, in hindsight. But I was young then. I was 30 or 31. And that's when I flew to Washington State. So all right, enough of all that. Really happy you're all here. It's really nice. So we're on chapter 8. Before I forget, copyright disclaimer. This video is for educational purpose only. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, and news reporting. Scholarship and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Will there be local fireworks? Here we get many illegal fireworks. Hot days, dry bush, not a good concoction. Yeah, no. Well, this is what they do. They're not allowed anymore. This has been going on now, and it was in the paper and all this. For the animals' sake, they literally, in this town anyway, I don't know about the rest of Washington State, but in this town, and I'll just say it, of Bellingham, I've said the town before, shouldn't be that big of a deal. Lionel thinks I'm in Seattle, I think, so, or Lord Dandy. I'm 2 hours from Seattle. I might as well be in Seattle, but I'm not. I'm in a small town, college town by the water. I'm a mile from the water. It's not a big beachy thing, but there's lots of boats and really nice parks in this town. And yeah, I wish we had a long sandy beach here. It would be really nice. But anyway, fireworks aren't allowed. But what I'm seeing and noticing is that a couple blocks from here, where the ball field is, hi Vape King, hello. The city on New Year's Eve and the 4th of July, and even the 1st of July, when the ball games start off or whatever up there, they do fireworks. And literally from my apartment, you can see them right over the trees. I mean, it's literally half a mile away. So, that's pretty nice. So, yeah, so I read the disclaimer. And I'm reading from a book, you guys. If life is a game, these are the rules. 10 Rules for Being Human is introduced in Chicken Soup for the Soul. This is by Cherie Carter Scott. She's a PhD. And I just really like the wording and the way she reads it. And I want to finish this book because A, when I start things, I want to finish them. B, I've had quite a few people tell me, I'm not trying to be boastful, but they like my voice. I have a good reading voice, and they enjoy my readings. And C, it helps me to read these supportive books because it's been a tough year. It's been a real tough year with health issues with my family, and I know I'm going to have extremely bad arthritis in my finger, and I know it's just my finger, but every time I go outside, this summer it probably won't be like that, but in the fall and the spring, and of course the winter, it's so cold that because I don't have any circulation in it, I just touch it on my cheek and it's cold, like it was sitting in a refrigerator. So today when I checked the mail, it was pouring rain, and I went under the awning of the little laundry place down there. We all have washers and dryers, but we have to pay, an extra $50 a month, which of course I do. Some people cannot afford it. So they have a little area, and I was standing there waiting for the lady, this young, really sweet gal. She works so hard. I told her for the first time ever, I said, I appreciate all the work you do. And she seemed nearly surprised to hear it. I don't think our service workers get enough, recognition and thank yous. But anyway, my finger was so cold, even though it was in the coat pocket, I had to take it out, stick the finger in my mouth, blow warm air on it, literally, and then cup my other hand around my finger just to keep it from just freezing and then starting to throb, you know? And it's just my finger, right? There's so many people out there that have rheumatoid arthritis and, chronic back pain and all kinds of broken jaws, right, from car accidents. So many worse things than my little finger. But it's just a constant reminder. Do you know what I mean? Of getting it slammed in that door with 160 pounds of my son's weight against it and slicing it to the bone and the skin being pulled up to the nail. And it was a fiasco. I had to go to the ER every week for 5 weeks. Oh, wow. Yeah, and I could even pick up a hand warmer at the store. Those little things that you squeeze or something and put inside your glove. I have to wear 2 pairs of gloves when I'm on my bicycle. Okay. There's going to be fireworks here at midnight. Winnie doesn't like fireworks, and I've got to make sure Sprocket the cat's indoors. I don't like them either. Yeah, I mean, how many towns literally do it for the animals? I mean, that's what it said in the paper. I mean, maybe I'm sure there's other reasons, but yeah. Okay, so anyway, that and my mom's possible cancer now, I'll know in a day or two. But like I said on my other live, what are the positives? Okay, I'm just going to remind myself before I start reading. The positives are that, I'm still friends with many, many turtles, and hopefully Jimmy still. And the other positive is that I never got such a bad infection in my finger, right? That I lost my finger, because my mother told me that happened to her husband's mother when she just had not even that deep of a cut. I think she was cutting a bagel. And she, had to have it cut off. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world, but I would be freaked out, so frightened if I had to go have that done. I just don't know what I would do. Just a minute, I'm getting my son something to drink. Just one quick 3 seconds, or maybe 5. Okay, that was about 15 seconds. I hope your son learned a lesson. Oh, absolutely. He was so freaked out. He was like wearing shoes 24/7 for quite some time because he was worried his toes might get in the door and it could happen to him. He felt terrible, very, very terrible. And I knew it was an accident. Things get heated at times. Even though they're your children, they're adults, right? And they have minds of their own, and that's a good thing. But oh my goodness, some fireworks shake the windows. They're that loud. Wow, Winnie the pup. That's incredible. Yeah, needs to understand he is a man, he has force and can do damage, says Mission. Yeah, and that's why when it was dripping blood and I was screaming bloody murder, and trust me, I was, because I was so damn scared. Like, I've never even just sliced it fairly deep, or anything like that, anywhere on my body. And yeah, I went right up and I said, "Look at this. Look at this." And believe me, he doesn't like the sight of blood. And he is on the autism spectrum, but he's high functioning, so it's not like. But it there needed to be a lesson in there, and I'm extremely thankful. That's the other thing. He was not arrested. They believed me. They didn't have to believe me, and he was very calm. Apparently, when he wasn't all shaking and acting guilty and not answering the cops' questions. They talked to him. Oh, interesting, Winnie the pup. Yeah, yeah. It's you know, uh, yeah, yeah. I was going to mention something else, but I, I mean, I just don't think going to jail for him at all would have been good because he has so many fears anyway. I think he'd be downright petrified of the cops in the future. And if he needed them, I don't think he'd call. Yeah. I mean, when he was having issues when he was younger, like 20 and 19 and 18, the onset of some of these thoughts and psychosis and things, he literally ran out of the house at 3:30 in the morning in his socks. And the police were looking for him, right? Because I called and they found him. They asked where he kind of hung out, and I mentioned a building, and he was hiding on the side, kind of behind it. I couldn't believe they found him, and they brought him home. And I mean, we weren't even fighting or anything. This was because of thoughts and feelings and fears he was having. Yeah. Yeah, Mission. It's he knows he'll either be in a home someday, so he'll have a caretaker other than me, really. Or he could probably have his own place as long as, someone is answering their phone, possibly 24/7, like if he were to get locked out or forgot his key if he went somewhere, that kind of thing. So I don't know what the future holds. I don't know. It's literally one day at a time. Yeah, between the devil and the deep blue sea. Wow, that's a real interesting thing to read. Okay, time in jail will teach him a lesson, leave him there. Yeah, he has fears of just, I can't even begin to tell you guys, just everybody and everything. And yeah. And a lot of it is stuff that he's seen on the internet that he chooses to believe. Yeah. Which is a real bummer. Okay, so I'm on rule 8. What you make of your life is up to you. You have all the tools and resources you need. What you do with them is up to you. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I was dealing with my finger and had to have stitches. And I'll tell you what, thank God for shots, even though that hurt like a bitch. when you're there and you have to put your finger out, I told him, I said, I'll hold my arm as still as I can. But I said, your nurse or you are going to put pressure on it to make sure, yeah, Mission, you're right. Yeah. And I did it, but I had to. I mean, think about it. I had to have stitches. I had about 12. And they weren't the dissolvable kind. And that was hell. I'm telling you right now, you have more nerve endings and feeling in your fingers and your head than anywhere on your body. I learned that at the ER. And then, and when she took him out with that pointy little whatever it was she was using, I think she just wanted to get it done, but she jabbed me every time. So it was like taking a pin in my cut, in my stitches, and poking. And I screamed so loud. This youngish gal, she looked like she was about 18 or 20. She was across from me. She left. And I said, because of the way I was screaming when the needle went in when I had my shot, there was a little girl with her dad who had gotten hurt at work. And I said, you really might want to remove that child because I don't want to scare her. Oh, no, she'll be fine. Well, while I'm sitting there literally screaming because I couldn't help it, you guys. I had to release. I had to scream. Like, I know it's weird, right? Doesn't do any good, but I couldn't help it. It was silent. In the room, I was partitioned off with like 6 other people. And I remember it being completely silent while I screamed. Nobody was saying, oh my God, what's happening to her? No one was, the little girl was silent. The little girl didn't start crying because I was listening. Nobody said, what a big baby. It was just silent as I screamed. It was really horrible, you guys. Oh God, this year was hard. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is the thing, Vape King. They're supposed to come out in 10 to 12 days so that it doesn't hurt. But they left mine in for 16 days. So they were embedded. I thought they would just sort of slide out. It wouldn't feel great because it's on the cut, right? That's healing. But the pain that I experienced felt like a needle 12 times stuck in my skin. It was horrific. When was this? May. And every week there was something new going on with my finger. And I'd go to the ER to be safe. And every time they put me on antibiotics. Every time. 2 weeks on the regular, whatever it was, amoxicillin or whatever, and the last 2 weeks at cephalexin, which is stronger. It was awful, you guys. It was really, really awful. My dish towel had so much blood on it, like what you see on those ER shows. It hurt and throbbed so bad from being open and cut down to the bone. And they did an x-ray and I had a fracture on top of everything. So I had a fracture, just a little small fracture on top, and the acute laceration. That's what the paper said. I had to literally ride in an ambulance, bawling my eyes out. Oh God, just the thought of it. Honestly, I mean, I'm 62. I can't get pregnant. But if I could, I would rather give birth than go through that again. It was horrible. Horrible. Okay, enough about that. So every person creates his or her own reality. This is Rule 8. What you make of your life is up to you. Authorship of your life is one of your absolute rights, yet so often people deny that they have the ability to script the life they desire. Oh, nice, Vape King. They often use, so folks, people who are watching in the bushes and in chat and ever come across this video in the future, do not argue with your children or adult children by the door. Do not be barefoot and have your toes nearby. Do not have your hand in there like you're trying to get your point across. Do you know what I mean? It's not worth it. Yeah. Every person, I already read that. They often use the excuse that they cannot do what they want to do or get what they desire in life because they lack the resources to do it. They look past the fundamental truth that it is not our external resources that determine our success or failure, but rather our own belief in ourselves and our willingness to create a life according to our highest aspirations. You can either engage in the blame game, making frequent use of the statement, I couldn't because, or you can take control of your life and shape it as you would like. You can either let your circumstances, be they your physical appearance, your financial condition, or your family origins, dictate what happens to you. Or you can transcend your perceived limitations and make extraordinary things happen. The yeah buts do not produce results. They just reinforce the delusion of inability. Argue for your limitations, and eventually the universe will agree with you and respond accordingly. I like this. I like this little book. It's a little book, you guys. It's a little hardback book. And my mom sent it to me. She sends me lots of books. 10/31/2011. She says, Dearest Megan, actually, I don't see life as a game, but these are words of living advice that's good for us all. All my love, Mom. I'm so glad she sent me these books. And I never liked reading till I turned about 40. I hated to read, in fact. Okay, so, and with the new year upon us, right? Well, hi, Canadian Nana. Hello, Paper Cut. Happy New Year, honey. Hi. Look at all these new people coming in. Divine, the Chosen One. Hello, Happy New Year. Blessed. So I'm assuming Canadian Nana is from Canada. Yes, of course. I'm looking at the avatar now with the little flag. There we go. And I'm looking at Divine, the Chosen One. And I have a feeling you're from a different country also. Yeah, please hit the like, you guys. I would be so great. And if you haven't subscribed to me, I'm about 20, maybe 21 away from my goal of 3,000. And yeah, I would love it if you guys would sub up and help me, you know, bring in the new year and stuff like that. And I try to do a live every night. I used to be better, but it's been a rough year, and you have to kind of be in the mood to, you know, talk to people or show your face or anything. You know, I like to put some makeup on and look presentable and feel better about myself. And I haven't even done that in a couple of days because I'm waiting for the results, from my mom, whether she has stomach cancer or not. And, she's 83. So we're old friends, darling. Canadian Nana. Well, were you a different avatar before, or is this my short-term memory? Out with old, in with the new, says Winnie the pup. Oh, Divine, the chosen one, you're from California. Okay, nice. This is I'm not usually up this late. I'll try to head into bed by midnight. I might lay here till 12:30. I don't sleep as good as I used to. I mean, I could lay my head down and in literally 2 minutes, I'm out. So my mind is doing what I was hoping it would never do, which is just sort of race around and think about things. Oh, you were Cheek Pinchin' Granny. I knew you were something else from Dolly's. That's so cool. Wow. Yeah. Oh, this is really nice. Thanks for being here, everyone. Let's see. Okay, okay. The yeah buts do not produce results. They just reinforce the delusion of inability. Argue for your limitations, and eventually the universe will agree with you and respond accordingly. I already read that whole thing. Joseph Campbell once said, "The world is a match for you, and you are a match for the world." By this, he meant that when you fully recognize your challenges, your gifts, and your individual reality, and you accept the life path they represent, the world provides whatever you need to succeed. You, in turn, will discover how you can make your greatest contribution to the world. When you claim authorship of your life story, the world responds and genius ignites. Isn't this just wonderful writing, you guys? I really like it. I like the different words, the meanings, the way it's all put together. Anyway, clearly the challenge of Rule 8 is to create and own your own reality. And by the way, since I have new people here, Joey Criswell, please teach your kids to be self-sufficient adults. Ollie's son cannot get himself a drink. If you drop dead, no. Here, let me put this up. Joey, he wanted a pop. And I can't keep soda pop in the fridge because 3 or 4 will be gone in a day. And he and I are thinking he has insulin resistance syndrome, where any kind of sugar makes you just not just bloat, but I don't know, gain fat and visceral fat over your organs and all this kind of thing. And it's been so bad for him before. He's an adult. But yeah, I gave him, what is it called? It's a Pepsi, but it's a diet kind. Hi, Mary Jane Doe. There's my head mod. Yeah, so that's why he was asking me for a soda. If he wanted, like a Gatorade or some milk or cold water, we have one of those purifiers in the fridge. Then he could have gotten his own drink. Yeah. Yeah. This very well maybe not. My ex-husband's name is Joe. When he comes in and says things, like he did in the past, his avatars were just letters. So more than likely this isn't him, but it could be you, Joe, because that is how he talks. He is a man. That's how Joe talks. And Joe likes to watch my lives for some reason. But anyway, yeah. No, he's a man, but he's like high functioning autism. And he was diagnosed with pervasive developmental disorder when he was 17. Yeah. And for people that don't know what that is, Google it. It's not a very wonderful thing to hear about at all. And that's what I've actually seen in him. The psychosis kind of things literally was the onset of adolescence. And I've read that that's usually when it happens for men that age of like 20, 21. Psychosis kinds of things. And that happened. And then, we brought him to a specialist when he was 4. And we were told by a specialist of ADHD in a nearby town that he had severe ADHD. And boy, did he ever. But we didn't try things like, the Ritalin patch and what is it called? I can't remember. Until he was older. And that helped. But when you go through divorce, he'd be on it when he was with me, and then he'd go off it when he was with his dad, and that's not healthy. So it's been many years, his whole life actually, of trying to figure out what we can do to help him. And I've had him in wonderful, the Bridges program, because it was hard for him to be in classrooms of like 35 people. So there were 12 in this one, and he had wonderful teachers, and he really liked it. That was in part of his high school. And then dropping out halfway through his sophomore year was a complete, utter disservice to him, and he was not living with me then, and we'll just leave it at that. But then he had a chance to get his GED through a program called Community Transitions, and we heard about that through a good friend of his that actually did that. And they're a program that goes to a different high school every year. And you get to pick, you literally on paper get to pick what hours you want to be in school during the day, and how many. And of course, it has to be a certain amount for that week. But I've never heard of such a thing. So, that's pretty incredible. And I remember the names of all his classes. One was, now let me see if I can. One was life skills. One was self-esteem. Another one was called self-determination. Another one was to learn how to drive if you wanted to. And another one was an academic kind of class, like math or whatever. And he lived with me, and he lived with his dad, and he lived with me, and he lived with his dad, back and forth about every 2 or 3 weeks. And the bottom line is this. When he was with me, I made sure he got on that bus and got there. Needless to say, he lasted about 2 months doing this program. And I can't even tell you how upset I was. They were calling to speak to me, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you, and and this and that and the other thing, and he got kicked out for missing too many classes. But I set the alarm, and he got up, and he could run down to that bus so fast. So, I tried to keep my son in these different things so he could have a better life. And people in his life, I'm sorry, really dropped the damn ball. And I have deep resentment. I just do. How can I not? Because I see how he suffers today. And now, because of all this anxiety and self-loathing and lack of self-esteem, it's hard at his age, to get him to go anywhere. Like even going into a public restaurant, to have a burger with his friend Greg is a mission. He's got to have a hat on and sunglasses, and if there's too many people, he won't even go in, and it's just anxiety is a real problem that millions of people have. There's GAD, which is generalized anxiety disorder. There's social phobias. There's agoraphobia. I told him, I said, if you don't make yourself go places, especially with someone you trust and your best friend, you could end up becoming agoraphobic. I mean, if you never see the outside in society, you know what I mean? I think it could happen to anybody, any of us. So, I don't know. It's sad. So, when I get these things, these comments from people that I don't know and don't know me, I know, and God knows, that I was the best mom and the most supportive mom, that I could be. Yeah. Well, this antipsychotic that he's on, because now he literally feels that people down at the smokestack, you used to be able to smoke in your apartments here. I'm not kidding. Or at least out on the deck. But people were flicking their butts, right, over the railings, and the people around here, the maintenance, they were tired of picking them up. And then other apartments would blame the other one and this and that. So about, I'd say 5 years ago, you have to stand under this like smokestack area and smoke. And people in the pouring cold rain and snow and everything else do. Some, go ahead and smoke in their apartments, I'm sure. And at times I can smell it off other people's balconies. But, yeah. I do feel that my son would probably drink almost every day or every other day if he had the choice. But because he lives with me, And it's not even the fact that I don't drink anymore or I might be tempted. I'm not. And when he was younger, I tried that. I tried letting him have his few beers in the house and whatever. And my daughter is 8 years younger, right? So she was a little girl and she was just like in her room playing or whatever. But that got out of control. And I said, yeah, no more. So he knows when he's in his own place someday, or if he lives with his dad again someday, which in all honesty, he told me he doesn't want to. And it's because of the way his father's drinking is incredibly out of control now. It's out of control. But anyway, so yeah. Because of the way he talks about alcohol and wants to self-medicate, medicate, and things like that, he could easily become an alcoholic. And it runs in the family. If both parents are alcoholics, it's 80% chance that the child will be too. Yep. Maybe higher. So, and the antipsychotic makes his hunger hormone, because I read about it, in overdrive. So he's hungry more, and he thinks he's hungry even after he's eaten. I mean, this kind of thing. So we used to just let him eat whatever he wants, but it got to the point where he could hardly bend over and tie his shoes, you guys. That's heart disease risk. That's where if you get so big, you don't even feel like going for a walk. So his friend did the keto diet and lost 80 pounds in 2 months. I kid you not. Eating all kinds of protein and vegetables, didn't have to weigh it out or anything. You could eat a pound of bacon if you want. I'm not kidding. But no sugar and no natural sugars. No apples, no bananas, no potatoes, no milk. Yeah. But lots of salads, of course, no dressings. But your carbs are limited, very limited. So anyway, he did it. I've said this before. And this is after he went to the doctor and we thought maybe, he had IBS or something. Like we couldn't understand why he was so distended. We even had a CAT scan done on his stomach. And he did have some issues and a little bit of blockage, but they said it was his weight. So when we got that go ahead and his friend was losing all that weight on the keto, but eating plenty, just no sugar. And that doesn't mean drinking diet either, and that's without exercising, you guys, losing weight like that. We did that. And I bought the turkey and I bought the tortillas and I bought the bacon and and he was getting to bed at night and he'd get up in the morning and have a couple of eggs and bacon, one piece of toast, and two turkey tortilla things for dinner and Brussels sprouts and broccoli and, a little bit of cheese but no sugar. And in the first week, because we were weighing every couple of days. In the first week, he lost 7 pounds. 7 pounds. I'm not kidding. I saw it. He saw it. The second week, he lost 11 pounds. He kept losing, and he kind of got to a plateau there for a little while, but within 2 months, he lost 25 pounds. And he kept it off for a good year and a half. But then it you go back to your eating, right? Pie and cake. And of course, Christmas was just here, and his birthday on the, 2 days ago was his birthday. I'm not a mean mom. I didn't say, oh, you can't have any cake. You're going to be, dieting pretty soon or doing the keto. No. I bought him stocking stuffers. I just, I don't want to deprive him, and he doesn't want to be deprived. But when he sets his mind to something, he can do it. I'm really proud of him, and we'll see. We'll see. It's not easy. He needs to get to bed at night. That's what I told him. I said, Parker, when you're up all night, you want to keep going into the kitchen and opening the fridge and see what's around. I said, you're going to self-sabotage what you're setting out to do. But he doesn't want to take his med anymore to help him sleep, which is trazodone. He refuses. I can't make him, So anyway, I got off on a tangent about that. Yeah. Hi, Dub Waghai. Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm not sure what this means. Entertain such filthy as you, and as he said, if you have a problem. Oh, I have, believe me. And I used to go to church all the time, and I did MOPS, Mothers of Preschool Children, and I even took classes. I took classes when I was going through the separation part / divorce after remarrying my ex a second time. We were together 8 years, and I took a boundaries class through the church. I took, I can't remember her first name, but the last name's Omarshan, on trying to, keep a marriage together. I took classes on that where you fill out a workbook and this and that. And I took another class, which was really, really, or seminars, I should say. They were months long. This one was called Expectations of the Past. I still have the big, thick workbook. So I've worked on myself. I've tried to do the right thing and keep my marriage together. And I made a lot of really good friends. Yeah, I think, well, I do think there's so many red dyes and sugar in everything, right? I mean, you can barely find a bread, unless you really look, that doesn't have fructose corn syrup in it. They add this sweetener to everything. And now there's really proof of all these red dyes and everything out there, which causes ADHD and all this hyperness and everything. There's a petition out there, and I actually signed it. It was in my email, have the government or whatever, FDA or whatever it is, get the red dyes out of our foods. So, between that and all the different toxins out there, um, I don't believe that all those things, those cleaning sprays that are out there, are good. All that lemon pledge. I mean, a little air freshener if you have animals, but all these different things, this Febreze people spray in the air and cleaning. And I mean, it can't be that good for breathing. You know what I mean? Yeah, it would have been wonderful if he had gotten that. And he can still get online for college or whatever, and get that. Yeah, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, well, we had shared custody, but he gave me primary sort of kind of custody as long as I wouldn't move to the Midwest, which is my mom lived in Iowa and so did my father. And they were both remarried to different people. And my sister was in Missouri and she still is. And I'm originally from Vermilion, South Dakota. So I did. I sacrificed my family to be with my kids, to stay around my kids. You know, I could have left my son with his father, like many, many people do, right? No, no. So, yeah. All right. Well, good night. It is. I don't, she, I think it's a she. Yeah, this person is from California and they were so calm when they first came in. I don't know if they're partying or what. I was 24, Mission. I'm not going to start now. Last time I had that. Yeah, I'm pretty darn high up. I filmed out my window before. I look like I'm 6 stories up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, he was on olanzapine 3 years ago or so for 11 months. It really helped with his OCD, my son's OCD, like a lot. But then, he went from 141 pounds. I mean, that's pretty, it wasn't skinny. He was riding a skateboard and moving around and felt good and drumming and everything. He's innately skilled drummer. And then he just was like 160s and got up as high as 185. That's a lot because I think he's only about 5'11". You also lost a lot on keto. Well, what I like about it is when I was helping him with it is I measured the half a cup of, it was a cup of blueberries or it was a cup of strawberries or half a cup of blueberries. He couldn't have grapes, couldn't have bananas, couldn't have apples. He didn't want oranges. So, I got him what he wanted. For vegetables, I mean, he doesn't like lettuce. He used to eat carrots, but a little one got kind of caught in his throat, so he won't eat carrots. He used to eat celery, a little piece of celery. It didn't get caught, but it was too stringy or something. He won't eat celery anymore. So whatever I can get him to, eat. Yeah. Well, before his best friend, that he hangs out with, got a job, they were walking literally 5 miles because there were like these, they'd go up to the park and then walk down, clear down to a lake and then back. And it was 2.5 one way and 2.5 back. And that was just this past summer. And I know a lot of people gain weight and stuff in the winter. Oh, I didn't know you were diabetic, Mission. Yeah. Who's 220 pounds? No, my son was 185. Maybe you're talking to someone else oh, wow. Yeah. Well, and with keto, you probably already know this, Mission, and other people. It literally, when you don't have that sugar in there, something literally chews up the fat in your body. Like, I mean, I don't know. It puts you in what's called ketosis. But it's quite a few. You can't like not eat any sugar one day and then boom, eat it the next. Because then as soon as that's in your body, you go out of ketosis. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's hard, I told him if we do it again, he's not going to be sipping on diet sodas either, because it's too much of a teaser, because then his body craves, right, salt. You guys ever notice that? You have your sugar, and then a few hours later, you might be wanting something salty. And then a few hours after that, something sugary. It's so bizarre. That stuff's strong, isn't it? Yeah. Yes. No rice, no pasta, no potato, not much fruit, no flour products, no sugar. Yeah. No chips, no. I wonder if you can have No, you can't have popcorn, because corn is a natural sugar and there's corn kernels in popcorn. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the problem. I enjoy cooking, but he doesn't like things like that. He doesn't like meatloaf. He doesn't like he absolutely will not eat like a casserole kind of thing. Now that he's older, he'll try like a homemade chimichanga with the cheese, but if there's too much cheese in it or some Alfredo, I mean, it's even like the Stouffer's ones that you can buy that, I mean, they taste pretty good and you just bake them. He doesn't even like that stuff. So he's very simple about what he likes, but most of it's not very healthy. Burger, pizza. I mean, he likes a turkey sandwich, but he doesn't like, anything on it but cheese. And sometimes it has to be certain cheese. And yeah. Wow. Um, well, if you're talking to me, Mary Jane Doe, um, I promised my ex I would never take him out of the state, and I've kept my word. Oh my gosh, I do too. That is hard for me to stay away from. I'll take a sliver, and then half an hour later, I'm taking another little sliver, and 10 minutes later, another little sliver. And I'm not like that with pie or cake, donuts, cookies, but cheesecake, yeah. How often is who around? Maybe you're talking to someone in chat. All right. So I was reading, and where did I? Oh, so I wanted to read for the new people in here. There's 10 rules for being human. The first chapter that we read was You Will Receive a Body. The second one was You Will Be Presented with Lessons. The third chapter was There Are No Mistakes, Only Lessons. The fourth chapter we read was Lessons Are Repeated Until Learned. And I think I read these, I believe it was a couple of months ago, up to like chapter 7, because I looked back at my lives. Or no, up through 6. And then I stopped reading the book for a while, and I don't know, I was covering some kind of depressing true crime crime stories that were coming up in my emails through People True Crime. And then when it was getting closer to the holidays, I came back and I did the chapter 7, and now we're on 8. Okay, chapter 4, lessons are repeated until learned. Chapter 5 was learning does not end. Chapter 6, there is no better than here. And chapter 7 was others are only mirrors of you, which is what I read 2 days ago. And now tonight is chapter 8, what you make of your life is up to you. So we have this one and 2 more to go. All right, I'm back. You guys, I got to use the bathroom really quick because I was drinking a Pepsi earlier. So I'm going to put an Akash Gandhi song on. I played Poisoned Rose earlier, in the beginning of it. I only have a few more and I'm going to be done with Akash Gandhi for the year, even though I did play 126ers and Ono beats and all kinds of other things. These are songs I haven't heard yet. Let's see. I played 2 days ago Forest of Fear, and then I ended it with A Tale of Vengeance. This is Till Death Parts Us. It's just the next one, so I'm just going to play it. Hopefully it's not too somber, and I'll be right back. I can't hear it on my end, you guys. It's crazy. It's been like this now for months. Only when I view on YouTube can I hear the music. It won't for the life of me. I've looked at videos. The speakers are not working on this end. It just makes no sense. This is Akash Gandhi. I'll be right back, okay? Okay, I'm back. I hopped over to listen to it. It was kind of a quaint, pretty little piano song. I kind of liked it. It was a little bit sad though. But I hope you guys liked it. Akash Gandhi plays a lot of really pretty songs with the flute too. And there's sometimes this kind of techno stuff thrown in on some of the more livelier tunes that he does. I found this band or him or whatever on my YouTube library. And I have some friends from Australia that really like Akash Gandhi. It's Aakash, and Gandhi is Gandhi. Okay, so, oh, Mary Jane put carrots in. I probably should have done the carrot song. Okay, so, wow, it's 3 a.m. my time. So, what I'm gonna do is finish this part of this chapter and end my live because it'll be a couple hours. I've talked quite a bit and I'm limited to 20 hours a month. And I just got my 20 hours on the 28th. So I had a couple before. Hi, Vape King. Thank you. Yeah. And then it's going to be a couple hours tonight. That leaves me with only 16. But I can do YouTube lives through just YouTube. The only thing is the sound kind of slightly wavers. Yeah. All right. Clearly, the challenge of Rule 8 is to create and own your own reality. The first moment you are able to do this is an awakening of sorts, since it means the demise of your unconscious life. I remember vividly the time in my life when this occurred. It was after I had received my 3 messages about what I was supposed to do with my life. Much to my surprise, rather than feeling relieved or inspired, I felt depressed. After crying for what seemed like days with hardly any idea why, I came to realize that the phase of my life in which I could float in the murky swamp of I don't know was coming to an end. Once I received the 3 messages and knew what my purpose was, I had moved out of the safety zone of not knowing, otherwise known as childhood, into the reality of the adult world. I knew that once I began consciously to own my life, it would be nearly impossible to sink back into oblivion. I wept tears of loss, for I had passed through a tunnel of maturity and left my unconscious life behind. Though sad, I was now ready to take command of my life. When you begin to live your life understanding that what you make of it is up to you, you are able to design it according to your authentic choices and desires. You will learn lessons with this rule, such as responsibility, release, courage, power, and adventure that will lead you to the life you were meant to live. These lessons provide you with the essential tools you need in order to take command of your life. All right. So tomorrow, hopefully I'll be here. I may have company with Teresa coming over, so it might be the next day. I'm not really sure. But I want to get back on track and do a live every night, you guys. Usually I go live kind of around 6, 5 now. They last a couple hours, and then I can spend the evening, with my kids a little bit if I want, and get to bed at a decent hour. But it's been really fun hanging out late or early or whatever you want to call this with you guys. And I appreciate it. All of you being here and in the bushes more than you even know. So in this chapter 8, we will be talking about responsibility. Okay, and then release, and then courage, and then power, and then adventure. And then we'll be on, once we go through all those, and each one is only about a little small page and a half. Then there'll be chapter 9, which is your answers lie inside of you. And then the last chapter is you can remember if you want. No, that's not it. The last chapter is you will forget all of this at birth. What? You will forget all of this at birth. I'm not kidding. Rule 10. That's what it says. Okay, that's interesting. So I hope you guys join me. If you're not able to make it, I hope you watch the live. Please give me a like, and please subscribe to me if you're willing to. I'm only about 20 or so away from my goal of 3,000, and then I can set my next goal. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll go ahead and end with my crazy little song, Carrots. It's a good idea, Mary Jane. This is my signature song because carrots are good for you. Carrots is kind of a fun word to say. And I'm a carrot top. Even though I dye my hair, I used to be a natural redhead. Dirty Mag Yackers, PCT. Hello. I'm just ending my live. I've been on here for 2 hours. I hope you have a chance to watch it back. Once I fix up my face with some makeup and things of that nature, it won't just be my avatar all the time. But when I read like this, I really think when people aren't focusing on my background or my face or what I'm wearing, they're hearing more what I'm reading. I really believe that. And hopefully some of these readings will help you guys out there, because honestly, it's helping me. It's been a tough year, and I want it to be a better one for the entire world, frankly. The wars need to stop, every single one of them. All right, this is Carrots, my signature song. Feel free to put carrots in the chat, or vegetables, or a brain, or whatever you want. His name's Josh Pan, and this is the quirkiest, weirdest song you've probably ever heard. Thanks, Mary Jane Doe. Thank you. I love you guys. Please hit the like. Please subscribe if you're willing to. Till next time, I'm PCT is Extreme.
Here I come from the west side, the left side, the right brain drives me insane. Don't lie, don't lie, don't lie to me. Don't fry, don't fry, don't fry your brain. More carrots, don't tear it. More carrots. Where's Garrett?
Vegetables. Vegetables.
Here I come from the west side, the left side, the right brain drives me insane. Don't lie, don't lie, don't lie to me. Don't fry, don't fry, don't fry your brain. More carrots, don't tear it. More carrots. Where's Garrett?
Vegetables. Vegetables.
Here I come from the west side, the left side, the right brain drives me insane. Don't lie, don't lie, don't lie to me. Don't fry, don't fry, don't fry your brain. More carrots, don't tear it. More carrots. Where's Garrett?
Vegetables. Vegetables.
Here I come from the west side, the left side, the right brain drives me insane. Don't lie, don't lie, don't lie to me. Don't fry, don't fry, don't fry your brain.
Where's Garrett?